Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. We hope, anyway. Welcome back to Doctor Who Reviews. This week, we are doing the Jon Pertwee serial Carnival of Monsters. There's no Cat this week, because unfortunately she wasn't feeling well, so she's taken the time off to heal. And we wish her, a speedy recovery. But I'm joined by two of my usual co-hosts. First, to my virtual left. Pick up the receiver, he'll make you a believer. It's Freezing Inferno.
Reach out and touch me.
Faith.
Oh, I see.
Faith.
I see. Okay, I see. I see why you're doing that one though.
Yeah, Depeche Mode.
I get it.
R.I.P. Andy Fletcher.
It's just a question of time.
It's such a bad Thursday. 3 great people gone in the space of 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And to my virtual right, he'll be the roundabout. The words will make you out and out. It's Kuchiri.
Oh.
And rest in peace, Alan White as well.
That was the right roundabout, right?
Yeah, the JoJo roundabout.
Yep. Okay.
To be continued. I could just say to be continued, it's Kuchiri, but I don't think that would have worked. So, because that specifically has nothing to do with the band Yes.
Yari Yari does it.
I like that you opened this with basically all the prog rock references because she went ELP and then you went Yes.
Yeah. Well, you kind of started the ELP with your tweet.
Roll up, see the show.
Carnival Night is a great song. It's just long, but it's a great song.
It's ELP. Half their fucking songs are like 20-minute noodles on an organ.
That is true. I mean, basically, they took a look at 10cc's One Night in Paris, which is 3 songs, which is spread over 8 minutes, and said, "Hold my beer."
Pictures at an exhibition. Hold my beer, motherfuckers. I mean, pictures at an exhibition is actually short, but Anyway, listen to Emerson, Lake and Palmer, kids. But for now, we're going to talk about Carnival of Monsters, a Jon Pertwee story that I picked to try and help, lighten the mood, bring us back up to quality classic Who, and hopefully I succeeded.
I think you did.
I'm mad. There was no carnival.
Well, the carnival...
I was promised a carnival, damn it!
He wanted a festival. He wanted a festival. Where's his festival?
When are we gonna get to the fireworks factory? No, but this is an interesting one. This is the first Jon Pertwee story where Jon Pertwee has control of his artists again, because we had the whole plot line of, I've been exiled to Earth. And the previous story was the 3 Doctors, which had 3 Doctors, and at the end, the Time Lords were like, "Thanks for helping us, Doctor. You can have control of your TARDIS back." And the first place he goes is this place.
There's some questions with Jo about what this place actually is, because she's like, "Oh, we're still stuck on Earth, aren't we?"
No, not the Doctor likes the bitch of that. No, we're where I said we were. We're on this planet. Oh wait, no, we're totally not. Shit, fuck. Well, as we learned from the Doctor's wife, the TARDIS took him where he needed to go. But yeah, this is also another Robert Holmes script, which usually means quality. Usually, there are some outliers and some iffy bits, but it's a smart little script with some interesting allegory in there. So why don't we dive right into it?
Okay, let's do that. We open then not with the Doctor and Jo, interestingly. We open with 2 travellers getting out of the spaceport. 2 very colourful travellers at that.
This is where the idea for the 6 Doctors jacket came from.
Not quite, no, but that moustache, he is rocking that moustache.
Good lord.
That is so 70s.
It's extremely 1970s.
This whole thing is extremely 1970s, but that doesn't make it bad.
Yeah.
But we've got Vorg and his assistant.
Shurna.
Yeah, I keep wanting to call it Sheena for some reason, but Shurna. They're getting off the spaceship. They've got their bags. They mentioned something called the miniscope, or the scope.
Also, this planet has gray people on it.
Oh, great, it's the neutral people from Futurama. Actually, no, it isn't.
No. These
It's
people aren't neutral at all. They're ultra conservative assholes.
It's the murderers from Danganronpa.
The murderers for Danganronpa. It is messed up how everyone got executed for the murders that guy in grey kept committing and getting away with.
Yeah, just shape-shifting into an innocent student at the end of every single one of those you done it phases.
There's one I could mention, but it's hella spoilers, so I'm not going to say it.
What game though? Just
It's one where there is more than 2 silhouettes, and I'll put it at that.
I see.
You
Well,
know what I mean, I think.
Not quite, but you can tell me later. But yeah, this is a. They don't say the name of the planet until like near the end, but the planet is called Interminor, and I don't know if these are the Interminans or whatever. But you've got sort of a class. You've got a class system going where you've got 3 gray guys who are part of the council, and then you've got these other gray guys who are the functionaries. It's basically, we're the ruling class, and these are the peasants, the workers.
It's the officials who are the ruling class, and the functionaries who are the working class.
And we actually see a functionary go wild and start running around and climbing up a ladder, and one of the official guys just pulls out this laser thing and just shoots him. And it's like, oh, did you kill him? Oh no, I merely stunned him. Of course, he'll be executed for his insolence after.
Yeah, they use the word eradicated because that's their big weapon. The Eradicator.
Yeah, they also have a funny way of talking where they refer to themselves as ones.
One thinks this was meant to be the next Cyberman.
The one thing is basically like royalty.
Yeah, or just a funny little alien quirk of speaking.
The royal we, it's called.
Ah, yes, the royal we.
Yeah, W-E, not W-E-E. Very important distinction, that.
No, So, we do see the TARDIS, and it lands in what looks like a cargo hold.
It lands in poo. Or Joe thinks it lands in poo. He's like, what's that funny smell? It smells like a farm.
Oh, Lord. Well, the Doctor thinks, oh, well, we must be on Metabilis 3. Doctor, I don't think this is Metabilis 3. No. Of course it is. Oh, yeah? Well, look at this. There's chickens. Well, you don't know, Joe. Maybe chickens are the dominant life form on Metabilis 3. Okay, what about this box that says Singapore?
Have they been to Metabilis 3 yet? In continuity? No.
Wait. The Doctor was there once. No, he wasn't. I'm thinking later.
Yeah, chronologically, he wasn't yet.
Yeah.
I mean, it might be like in Big Finish or novelizations. They mention it, but because of course Metabilis 3 is a very important location for the Third Doctor.
That's where his final story takes place.
That's where he dies.
Yeah, that's later this season.
No, later next season.
Yeah,
he doesn't regenerate.
He gets one more season.
Yeah, he shows up there for like 5 minutes and has a bad time at the end of this season. Is what you're thinking of.
Yeah, I just looked up, like, the first actual appearance of it is The Green Death, season 10, serial 5.
And there's a story I could pick some other time, definitely. But, yeah, so they're going to investigate this place, and meanwhile, Vorg and Sherna are setting up an Interminor, and they take off their spacesuits, and we see
Colin Baker's coat, yeah.
Yeah, a rainbow puked on them in the cargo hold, I guess.
A rainbow puked Fruity Loops on, you mean?
It puked on the both of them because she's in a multicolored catsuit.
It's like, a multicolored catsuit, and she's got like, a rainbow puked down her, and she fell into a ball pit.
Basically, we don't have to use the term carnies in this country, but they are carnival folk. essentially.
Yeah, I mean, Vorg even mentions that sort of parlance later in the story.
He's a carnival barker.
And he's got this big, like, futuristic TV looking thing, and he's saying, roll up, see the show. I'm quoting the thing, I'm not quoting Emerson, Lake and Palmer. It's a carnival of monsters in my little box. Hey, it's the name of the show.
Yeah, so the box is the scope.
Well, we'll find out a lot more about that. And
a lot more about it.
The gray people refer, there's more weird terminology. They refer to Vorg and Shurna as Lermans.
That's their race. Later on,
yeah. Well, I don't know if it's the race or just the weird name they come up with, because they refer to humans, Earth people, as Tellurians, which I think is a phrasing that Robert Holmes would use in The Two Doctors.
That's an old bit of sci-fi phrasing, yeah.
Oh. So, okay. Yeah.
I've definitely heard Tellurians somewhere else.
Well. But yeah, it's a weird and wild little sci-fi turns of phrase like that to make it seem like, okay, ooh, we've got weird names for these things. But, they're setting up, and they mention, well, one must remember that President Zarb decreed that the Lermans could visit this place. One must find that agreeable, or disagreeable, perhaps. Back with the Doctor and Joe, then. Well, I've been leading for a while. Rain, take
back with the Doctor and Joe. So they quickly figure out that they're not on Metabellus 3. They're on a cargo ship. But it's not an ordinary ship, as Joe believes at first. Something is definitely going on with this location and with this whole setting. And we meet various characters of the time. We meet Major Daly, his daughter. And we also meet a character that this is where I got confused with Harry Sullivan.
Yeah, I know.
Because Andrews is played by Ian Marter. And I must have seen footage of this particular story, seen Ian Marter in a naval costume and thought, this is Harry Sullivan's debut. It's not.
He later became a companion. It's like how in the Pompeii episode of we had Karen Gillan as one of the random people, and Peter Capaldi was in it. It's kind of like that. It's like they were in it, and then later on it's like, hey, you want to be a companion? Sure, why not?
Freema, Martin Jones was in Torchwood. And
the series 2 finale of.
That's what I meant. Yeah,
I think that's how she got cast. I think she turned up for a minor part in Army of Ghosts, and then they thought, well, could you audition for the companion as well? And then they gave it to her.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So there's a lot of instances of that sort of thing happening.
Speaking of auditioning for companions, both Claire Daly, the mayor's daughter, and Shima, the carnival's assistant, both almost got cast as Joe.
Interesting.
I could see Shurna's actress doing a good job as Joe. Claire, I'm not so sure about Claire.
I don't know.
Just because of the part that she's playing.
Yeah. I really can't imagine anyone other than Katie Manning being Joe Grant.
I agree with you, but I'll be honest with you. These characters on the ship, they don't have a lot to them.
Not really. No, it's just they're sort of.
What are you saying? They only have 5 lines that they say 5 times over.
Yeah, they are set dressing essentially. Apart from Andrews, who does get to do a little bit of more.
Set dressing and building the mystery of what's going on.
Yeah, and that's absolutely fine. So and it's cool how we've got like an outer space setting and then we've got a more contemporary Earth setting, but something's going on with it.
Yeah, and you don't really smack it together until it doesn't really explicitly say until part 2 or so, but you're invited to think of it and theorize and be like, I bet this is going on.
And what's going on is a sea monster! Oh dear God, the Merc back.
I do love the Doctor and Co sneak into the cabin after Claire and Andrews head off, and the Major's falling asleep, and it's like, it can't be Earth. It can't be Earth. It just looks like Earth. There's no way I'm wrong. Oh yeah? Well, look at this newspaper, the London Times from 1986. Okay, maybe I am slightly wrong.
1926.
Yeah. 1926, yeah. Then a fucking monster.
Yeah. which the Doctor is very excited to see. He says, "Oh my god, it's a plesiosaur! They've been extinct for like 150,000 years! Oh, sorry, 130 million years."
Yeah.
So he's excited to see this, even though, you know, it's clearly not right. It's not a plesiosaur, but... Or is it?
What it is? I don't know what it is.
Oh, no, it's not the main monster of the... No, forget it.
No, it's not. No, it's not the main creature.
Yeah, no, it is just a dinosaur.
Yeah.
And again, it's an example of, you know, something's not right here. Claire is very distressed to see the dinosaur. Then, of course, the Doctor and Joe are taken for stowaways. Oh dear.
Boy, it's another one of those. Well, better lock them up.
Back to the spaceport then.
Another functionary dared to ascend to the higher level. Oh my god, they're getting above their station.
Yeah, well, we might as well name them here. We got three of them. We got Pletrak, Kalik, and Aurum. Why can they not have ordinary names, please?
Because it's spacey shit.
Kalik keeps always correcting my brain to Keelik from Soul Calibur. The guy with the staff.
Yeah.
And then later on, not the staff.
Yeah, like the guy with the staff. Later on, he does not have a staff.
No, because in Soul Calibur 5, the bad one, they had a character with the staff who's his son, I think. But then they bring Keelik back as a copy character.
Oh, okay. Like
There were 3
Smash.
copy characters in that game.
Well,
Because one wasn't enough.
Again, Smash says hi.
What I mean by copy is that they randomly take the fighting style and moves of a character each round.
Oh.
It's like Makujin from Tekken 3.
I see.
So he might start the round, you know, doing Astaroth's moves, and then he might do Nightmares,
So,
etc., etc. Yeah, back to Doctor Who. Sorry. Wild tangents are kind of expected at this point, but back to
we
Doctor
can
Who.
talk about fighting video games after.
We can.
Have you guys seen that Multiverses yet?
Oh God, yes.
Ultra Instinct Shaggy Cannon.
Velma's super move is absolutely inspired because the screen goes slightly blurry
Oh, jinkies.
because she loses her glasses.
I love how Tom and Jerry, like, all the moves is them trying to hit each other, but just hitting everyone else instead.
I think it's Maximilian Dude has a video on his Twitter of him accidentally killing Jerry. Like, just flings him right off the edge of the stage.
I resemble that remark.
No, Jerry the Mouse, not you, Jerry.
I resemble that remark.
All right. I think he's trying to tell me to get back on the topic, so let's do that.
Right. So in Guilty Gear Strive... Go on.
That is bullshit blazing. So, so yeah, they're stowaways, except of course they're not. And Kuchiri mentioned it earlier. These people keep repeating what they say. It's like deja vu, all over again.
Yeah, as Kuchiri said, these people repeat what they say.
Well, we don't find that out until later on. But first, it's like, okay, well, we're going to lock you in the Major's cabin until you can see the captain. And so they're locked up. And before they're locked up, though, the Doctor sees this metal hexagon on the floor, and he's like, "What's that? What's what? That on the floor? What are you talking about? I don't see anything on the floor. Come on. Let's keep moving."
They think he's stalling for time.
So they're locked up, and then the Doctor starts to info dump. He says, "Oh, well, Joe, I just learned the name of the ship. It's the SS Bernice. It's a famous lost ship like the Mary Celeste. And it disappeared on June the 4th, 1926. And according to that calendar on the wall, that's today."
Yeah. Now, this is not a real ship, is it? They've made this up.
I don't know.
I'm going to look that up while you continue talking.
But he's also still curious about the metal hexagon. He's like, well, it's made of metal that would be unknown to Earth, so it really shouldn't be here. I'd like to go and investigate, but first of all, we got to get out of here. And Joe's like, I got this. Look, I've got skeleton keys. God, I love Joe Grant.
Joe is a
It's just
really,
like-
really good companion, yeah.
I just love Joe Grant. She's just so like cheerful, but also she's
SS Bernice
not
is
this-
made up. Yeah, it's made up.
Okay, it's made.
There
up.
was a
Well, it's-
There was a Bernice cargo ship, which could be the SS Bernice, possibly, but that didn't sit till 1940.
So back on Interminer, you know, the council's interrogating Vorg on what the show is, and he's got a cutting line which I really find funny. Oh, our purpose is to amuse, simply amuse, nothing serious, nothing political, which, you know, is what a lot of people think media is these days, but they're what I like to call wrong.
Yeah. There are politics to this story, but it's not like in your face, I would say.
Which, you know, I am for the politics being in your face. I kind of like Dolphin 55 for fuck's sakes, but it's okay. The first step is admitting you have a problem. But anyway, yeah, it's not like overt, but you know, there's this the gray people obviously ultra conservative and looking to pacify the lower class with showy bullshit, so they don't, you know, rise above their station.
There is a rather funny bit with the dialogue where Vorg and his assistant Shinra are trying to get an entrance visa to Interminer, and he has this document. It says this document here was micrographed by the great Zarb himself, and the President Zarb. So they take it, and then Shinra says, "Wasn't the great Zarb that wrestler we met at the Interstellar exhibition?"
Well, they don't know. We'll find out. But the gray guys also mention, you know, amusement's forbidden on this planet, but President Zarb is talking about unbanning it in order to keep the functionaries in line. Oh, if all of this keeps up, well, the functionaries will take over, and one can't have that now, can one?
No, one cannot.
You know, oh
Wait,
no.
Can two? What about two?
maybe. I mean, but yeah, you know, it's basically, hey, shit, we gotta find something to pacify the working class so they don't throw up and fucking eat us. It's like, you know, it's like eat the rich. I know they're not really portrayed as rich, but, you know, eat the ruling class of this planet and question, you know, the social structure and all that shit. So it's an interesting angle, and there's some more other subtle meta commentary going on. Well, I don't know about subtle, but there's some more fun meta commentary going on in the story itself later on. It's interesting. So, yeah.
Yeah, this is where we then find out about the repeating thing.
Yeah.
And Joe and the Doctor actually point out and go, they're repeating themselves. Yes, I know, Joe. Well, that's odd, isn't it? Yes. We get more. We get a lot of exposition in the scene when they're locked up.
Well, I summarized most of it.
Yeah, some of it's important, some of it isn't. Then the plesiosaur turns up again, and the same reaction as last time. And then our cliffhanger.
Well, I just want to mention some stuff first, just some more exposition.
Oh yeah, sure.
Because firsthand, they go investigate that metal hatch thing the Doctor found, but Andrews couldn't see. And he's like, I can't get it open unless I have a magnetic core extractor. Oh, well, too bad. Well, there's one in the TARDIS, but that means we'd have to get by the passengers again. So they're like, okay, let's go back to the TARDIS and get it, and then come back. And then they go, they find the passengers, they find out they're repeating themselves. And the Doctor compares this whole setup. It's like, oh my god, well, why are they doing that? What's going on? Oh, they're trapped in something, you know? It's kind of like sea creatures in a rock pool, you know? They settle down, they don't know what's going on. Joe's like, but that's not right. They're not snails and stuff, they're people. Yeah, they're people to us, but they're not people to whoever's watching up there. They're just something for amusement.
Isn't that the next episode when they're inside the machine?
Well, he has this conversation now about sea creatures in a rock pool, but
He does, yeah.
There's some more in-depth conversation about you know, the people watching them from outside, and hypothetical stuff like that. But the cliffhanger is buck wild.
Oh, I love this. A big hand for the Doctor. that's literally it. A big hand comes on and just plucks the TARDIS out of nowhere and takes it away.
Yeah. So
I
Yeah,
cannot
the-
imagine what the viewers in the 1970s thought of this.
I mean, you can't like rewind the thing. And go like, wait, what? It's like once it's out there, that's it. So you're just sitting there, and all of a sudden, the hand is like, what?
It's out there, but it is explained pretty quickly in episode 2 who the hand belongs to.
Borg.
Yeah. And again, wonderful dialogue alert. He refers to the TARDIS, which is 2 inches tall, as a bit of bric-a-brac.
Yeah. So yeah, the ship and all that's inside the scope. The Doctor and Joe are inside this little thing.
Good setup.
Inside this machine. They've been so. Yeah, as they explain later in the story, the TARDIS materialized in its miniaturization field, so it got shrunk. And so look, taking the Doctor where he needs to go, to borrow a phrase in the future. But yeah,
He
so then
he puts it back in the machine, doesn't he?
Yeah,
Because it would spoil the illusion to give away too much.
Yeah, but not where the Doctor can get at it. So it's like, where the fuck is it?
Yeah, he just puts it somewhere, but the Doctor
We
can't
never
get to
see
it
it.
anymore.
Yeah.
So they can't
But
get that
he did
hatch
man-
open.
He did take the core thing, the MacGuffin he needed before Vorg's fucking hand picked it up. So, but before that, he's giving a demonstration to the Grey people on how the machine amuses.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, check this out! And he turns the dial, he turns on the screen, and it's showing Major Daly and Claire. Ah, these are Tellurians! Alien creatures from a distant galaxy, quite similar to our own dominant life form. Yes, they're the only Tellurians in captivity. And it's all like, these people are trapped here, and it's all fucking sideshow, carnival sideshow. Ooh, look at these weirdos! Holy shit!
Yeah, and this is where it gets a little bit awkward.
Well, it's just a little bit.
Yeah. So the creature on the screen right now is an Ogron.
Yeah.
They were servants of the Daleks.
And indeed, they show up later in this season in a story called Colony in Space, which which is a
What was their first appearance? Was it
Day of the Daleks.
Day of the Daleks? I'm Daleks out after Resurrection. I'll be honest with you.
I fucking blame
I
you.
no desire to watch a classic Dalek story for some time. But yeah, the Ogron, and we don't need to say what's wrong with these things. You can see it.
And also, well, there's a lot wrong with it that you don't see just from a glimpse too. If you actually sit down and watch the episodes with them, they're, and you can see what they're going for. It's in the name. They're Ogrons, so they're ogres, and they're like, they're dumb mercenaries. But it just makes it worse.
Yeah, the Daleks are name dropped by Vork as he's doing his presentation.
Yeah.
But then we then see a creature we haven't seen before.
Well, a glimpse of it.
Yeah. The
He calls it
Drashigs.
the prize of my collection. The most evil, vicious form of life in the universe. He says, having just name dropped the fucking
Daleks, yeah.
Oh, man. Which, I mean, they're nasty. They're nasty, but on the other hand, they're just like, they're just animals. They're not like fascist killers like the Daleks. I would argue the Daleks are the most evil, vicious form of life in the Doctor Who universe. They kind of have to be for them to be threatening, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, how many most threatening life forms are there now? I mean, are we on to, like, paragraph 200 yet?
Pretty much.
Daleks, Weeping Angels, something.
Well,
Drashigs.
you do have to sort of, hype up the monster within its own story to make it a viable threat.
I guess.
But I think going to the well of it's the most dangerous creature in existence, it's the most evil is a bit too much.
Holy shit! We need to put over the Drashigs right away! Quick! Who can lose to him?
Well, not
Who can
MJF.
jump to the Drashigs?
Not MJF, that's for sure, after this weekend. Bloody hell.
Oh, fuck. Yeah. And so the great people are like, oh, wow, are these recorded? Oh, no, all this is live right now. All these creatures are living in their own little environments.
Yeah, and you still see a few looks between the officials. You think he might have said the wrong thing there.
Yeah.
And
But
indeed he has.
he also proves that, he can do some other bullshit because this is wild. Because the Doctor and Joe, on the way back from the cargo hold, they get caught again. And it's the same old, oh, don't you recognize me? What? No, never seen you before. Oh, where did you get on board? Blah, 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 blah. But then Vorg is there, and he's like, oh, hey, check this out. Watch what happens when I turn this dial. And he turns this dial called the agrometer, and all of a sudden, Andrews is like, right, I'm going to beat the shit out of this old guy.
Yeah, he goes from taking them to the hold to challenging the Doctor to a boxing match, essentially.
And, they have a fucking boxing match because John Pertwee is a doctor who is not afraid to fight.
It's not much of a match, to be fair.
No, but I mean, this is a very John Pertwee thing, getting a fucking fight. And Rain, I think if Kat were here, you know what we'd be hearing right now.
Yeah, all right, fair enough.
But yeah, they have a little boxing match. Queensbury rules, naturally, and Andrews actually gets like one or two hits on the Doctor.
He gets one punch, and then he just gets clubbed in the heart and drops. Because the Doctor took lessons from John L. Sullivan.
The greatest boxing match since Johnny Knoxville versus Butterbean.
Oh God!
If you've seen that, you know. But yeah. Anyway, he run, and so they run away, and everyone's after him with guns, and they're shooting and shit. But then they get caught, and it's like, shoot him. But then Vorg is like, well, I better turn down the dial. Otherwise, they start killing each other. And they turn it down, and they're just like, right, shoot this lot. Oh, time for dinner. Let's go, lads.
Yeah. And thankfully, they've led them to the metal hatch.
Which is good. But also Sharna is like, Vorg, wait a minute. Those two Tellurians are new. I've never seen them before. You're talking nonsense.
There's no way any extra people could get in there.
See, the star of this particular show, both in terms of what we're watching and his show, is Vorg. But Shonna's pretty good value too.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, she's kind of like his conscience in a way. Like, not in a sense that, she's got morals, but...
Well, she's got slightly more morals.
She's got more than Vorg, yeah. But
either way. But, yeah, the Doctor does his thing with the thing and opens up the metal hatch, and he goes inside, and they're inside the circuits of this machine.
I love how this just rise of a gonzo idea.
This is great, and the Doctor just spends 2 minutes just marveling. Wow! Oh my God! I've never been inside one of these before. Oh, look at this thing! Oh, that controls this thing, and that controls that thing. Wow! This is actually kind of neat. He's just sort of geeking out.
Would you say this is right as got to eat or not?
I suppose.
I don't think it is.
I mean, it's weird that he's geeking out. I don't know if it's weird or not that he's geeking out about this, considering later we learned that he's ethically opposed to these particular machines.
Yeah, but he doesn't know what it is at the moment.
He doesn't quite know what it is, so he's like, wow, look at that and that and that. I mean, you could argue he could put two and two together sooner, but...
He gets a nice line about it's like walking around inside a wristwatch.
That is a cute little line, yeah.
I've never seen anything like the stuff they were walking over inside of wristwatch before.
Well, an advanced alien wristwatch that tells your time and also shoots a laser. Yeah, what the wristwatch of the future would do. Well, I guess the wristwatch of the future now is basically, a phone, like an Apple Watch.
Yeah.
There you go. There's the wristwatch of the future.
Oh, he's put something in.
Okay. course.
Of
What else
course.
could it be? I mean, can't fault you for being on brand.
Is that a motherfucking Kamen Rider reference?
Hey, wait. Hang on. Is that Kamen Rider Ghost?
No, that's the third writer in this series, Necron. And yes,
Necron.
everything Ghost touches is shit.
Yeah, you've dumped on this guy before.
Hey, I liked the Pac-Man movie, and that had Ghost in it.
Hmm. Anyway, while they're stuck
Anyway.
inside the machinery, we cut back to the Grey guys, and it's not gone well for Vorg and Schörner. Not only has their application been denied by the Intermanorians, they are in huge trouble for bringing invasive species into the planet. So they've got to be destroyed, and so has the machine. So they bring in the Eradicator, which is just a beam gun, basically.
Yeah,
It's
the
a giant
Eradicator.
laser beam.
The Eradicator, as opposed to the Obliterator.
A large gun on on wheels.
I like how that didn't even phase you.
I know what you said.
I still like how that didn't even phase you.
I was about to say, what a stupid name. They should have called it something like the Obliterator, but I can't do the voice at the moment.
Why can't you?
Because since I've caught COVID, I can't seem to do it.
Oh, well, that is a valid reason. I'm sorry. But anyway, so they shoot this Eradicator beam at the scope, and the Doctor and Joe, all of a sudden, everything gets all smoky, and they're like, "What the is going on? Oh my god!" But they don't actually manage to, eradicate the scope. But they're like, "Oh well, one doesn't need to be concerned. Surely the Eradicator has destroyed the creatures inside, and that is the main objective. But but one may have lost face, being able to eradicate the machine."
Yeah.
And so Vorg and Schörner check it, and oh hey, there's a Cyberboy in there.
Cyberboy?
Yeah, there's a Cyberboy in there.
Oh, yes, he is. Yeah, I forgot about that cameo.
It's like the one time they appear. Well, no, I'm thinking. Because they show up in Tom Baker's first season, and then they don't show up again until Earthshock.
So it's just a cameo. We got to mention the Daleks, and then we got an actual appearance of a Cyberman.
I mean, it is the 10th anniversary season.
Yeah,
so.
it has no bearing on the plot whatsoever. This is just the
It's
way
just
they
a little
show
cameo.
for checking on his specimens. They've not been destroyed by the Eradicator.
Yeah. But the Grey people, meanwhile, are taking this as a affront to their conservative morals. They're just like, "Our Eradicator is useless. Damn Zarb! He's disbanded the army, and that's our only defense. And now those Lurmans know. They're obviously alien spies sending transmissions to that machine. We've survived in the past because of our strength, and now we'll perish from our own weakness."
And we start to see a split now between the three named Intermanorians that we've already seen. Kellic and Aurum on one side, Pletrak on the other. Because Pletrak is basically saying, "Don't be an idiot. They're not spies. We've got peace treaties with all the neighbouring planets. We're not at war, you imbecile."
But Gorham's
but
kind of, in the middle because he's like reluctantly going along with what Kellic says.
well, yeah, he's a toady. He's a yes man.
There you go. Yeah.
It doesn't work out for him, as you'll find out later. But
Not really, no. But, they're basically, like I said, ultra-conservative, kind of xenophobes.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
They're ultra-conservative xenophobes. They're like, "Oh, we've got to let these aliens on our planet. Oh, they're going to contaminate our great planet. We've stayed so strong and been solid in solidarity, and now this weak willed president's going to ruin everything."
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, back at the borrowers at home.
Oh.
Tell me I'm wrong.
Stabby.
They're still crawling through the machinery.
I think we're going around circles, Doctor. Oh, no, we're not.
They're going for an air duct. They're trying to navigate towards an air duct. Because
Get out.
where's the air being ducted from then, Joe?
Outside.
And then you've got Vork again working on his machine. So they're going to avoid this big spear thing. Like, I think it's just a tool.
Yeah,
It would be
how
quite
does
funny
he not even-
if it was a regular screwdriver. That'd be quite a good gag. But to their
I mean,
perspective,
he said he had no idea what he was doing, so him just poking at a random piece of metal with that tool is probably him thinking he's doing something.
from their
Yes.
perspective, it's like a giant spear about to crush them to death. But it's just like a
Yeah.
tool.
Spearheads
And then
for face.
And then
Very
they look
good.
Up and then they look up, and Vorg's eye is just up there looking down on them.
Yeah, and this sent me because I have a thing about eyes. But
Oh wow!
you know this. Those blasted hand mines in Mentions Apprentice set me off.
Oh yeah.
But it's mostly meant to do with, like, things to do like close-ups of the eye or something going into the eye. Can't take it.
Oh yeah.
It makes me squeamish.
Yeah, I feel you. But Vorg, meanwhile, is having a little trouble with the Grey people because they want to kill him.
Yeah, they think that the scope contains a transmitter because they're spies.
He's like panicking and babbling as they've got him at laser point. What are you talking about? Oh. And then they're examining, and they're like, Vorg, if there's a transmitter in there, you're dead. Oh, what's this? Oh, it's bric-a-brac, knick-knack, knock-knock.
And then the bric-a-brac grows to about 4 feet tall. It's the TARDIS again.
Yeah, because it's out of the miniaturization field, so it just expands back to its regular size, and everyone's like, "What the fuck is that?"
Oh, did we? We should probably bring up Calix Actor.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
He was the first Davros.
oh, Michael Wisher.
Yes.
Yeah, we didn't get to talk about Michael Wisher that much last week because there was so much more to cover. But yeah,
I mean, we didn't talk about him because he wasn't in the episode.
well, we didn't talk about him comparing to Terry Malloy.
Yeah. One day we'll do Genesis, I guess, and then we'll have.
Not for a
Right.
while. I need a break from the Daleks. Seriously.
I mean, mood, but yeah. So we get near the end. We're getting near the end of part 2. The Doctor and Co. find it. The Doctor and Joe find another hatch, and they open it up, and they find themselves in a cave, and they walk out, and they're in a big swampy marsh, and there's nothing in sight, and they're looking around, and it's just no, there's nothing there. And back outside, Shirna's like, "Oh, Vorg, there's a fault in Circuit 5. What's Circuit 5? Oh, it's the marsh. What's in there? Oh, that's where the Drashigs live."
And that's when Shirley starts panicking, saying, "They'll kill them, for you got to get them out of there. Oh, they're already dead."
And here come the Drashigs.
And that's why I say that she's his conscience.
Yeah. And
She's
that's our part 2
horrified. She
cliffhanger.
doesn't want them to actually get harmed.
Yeah.
Like, she'll go along with the entertainment because, you know, it's giving her employment. But she doesn't want anyone to die here.
Like, keep the chimpanzees in the zoo, but like, don't let them get eaten by a lion.
And the Drashigs are that lion.
Yeah. And here they come.
And here they are. So yeah, this is not the plesiosaur dinosaur from earlier. These are the Drashigs. For real this time.
I mean, yeah.
Look,
Very,
just
you know.
look at that magnificent sight on the screen right there.
Wait, didn't we see this a few weeks ago? What?
Did we?
Don't even start. Look, you can try and point out that sea monster was the Merker all you want. It wasn't the Merker.
No, it was Peanut.
It was Peanut.
That's what the round table said.
I can't even remember what the hell the actual name for that thing was, but you're right. It was Channy for Peanut.
Did we figure out that it wasn't even meant to be in the episode at all, and it was like some sort of claw that was grabbing the...
That's what it said in the script. What's that over there? Is that the script?
Just
Yeah.
just making it Sea Dragon for no reason. Got it.
Maybe it was supposed to be like a robo dragon. Maybe it was their craft or something. But that didn't make it into the final episode.
You want to know what's a lot better than talking about 13 right now?
Talking about episode 3?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, this is better than most 13th Doctor material. I agree, particularly Legend of the Sea Boys.
That's also better than that Orphan 55.
I mean,
you had to go there. You just had to mention it.
I mentioned it first. To be fair,
you did, and I blanked it. To be fair.
Oh yeah, so I'm blameless, and Kuchiri's taking the blame. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on me.
What a good friend you are.
Then we go to episode 3, where the twist is they're on Earth all along.
Okay, Planet of the Apes.
Hang on.
That was the Orphan 55 twist.
Okay, Planet of the Apes.
Okay. And then the Drashigs lay an egg, and the egg hatches, and the little baby Drashig hatches an egg that's the same size as the egg it hatched out of.
I've just realised that the Orphan 55 does have the dregs, which sounds a bit like Drashig. God damn it!
There you go. We're tit for tat. And so yeah, the Drashigs. I mean, they remind me of the sandworms from Beetlejuice, Tim Burton's Beetlejuice. It's just a big carnivorous worm that roars.
Kind of, yeah.
I mean, it's an effective visual. I mean, even though the effect is basically just we green screened a hand puppet, but it's 70s Doctor. They had the budget that Rain paid for lunch last week, as I keep saying.
It's not the worst effects in the world.
I mean, as I was watching it, I think it's good enough for this was what, mid-70s?
Yeah.
There's worse green screen bullshit in 70s who they're like one day we're going to have to do Underworld and
oh my god.
Oh boy.
Well, I mean, if we're going to point out like bad CG in this serial, there was one where in the next episode the Doctor looks at one of the I don't know how to pronounce it.
Drashigs.
Yeah, and he's like halfway inside its fin.
Oh.
And he's meant to be looking down at it, but when he turns around, it looks like he's looking up at it all of a sudden while inside his fin.
Yeah.
But aside from that, like the whole hand thing and all the few of the other stuff, I mean, that looked pretty good for mid-70s, to be completely honest.
Yeah. So in part 3, then we've got these Drashigs, and they're coming up and they're roaring, and then it just sort of fucks off, and they're like, "What? Wait, Doctor, why didn't it try to kill us?" I don't know. Oh, why didn't they try to kill them, Vorg? Oh, it's hunting by scent.
Yeah, and Sherna mentions that they don't just eat meat; they are omnivorous.
Oh, there's a fun story, but Joe's reply was like, "Oh, it's just hunting by scent, following our trail." Well, that means it's going to be at the cave when we get back. Oh yeah, shit.
Whoops. So
yeah, Vorg explains there's 20 Drashigs in the scope, and then they tells this spooky story about a spaceship that landed on the planet they were on, and they tried to hold out with all the latest weapons and shit, but then the scout came and all that was left was just like bits because the Drashigs ate it all. Ooh.
Yeah, they ate the spaceship.
And
Not
so
just the crew, the spaceship. Right? So then we get an interesting bit where you kind of get Vorg's true colours. And, Calic is portrayed here as like a scheming politician, but he says, can't you help them? What, me? Yeah, can't you get those Tellurians out of there? You're in charge of the machine. I'd have to put my hand inside. I can't do that. I'd hurt myself. Again, Sherna's the one that persuades him. Oh, we can't have them torn to pieces. Come on now, Vorg.
Well, before that is fun because the Doctor and Joe they get back to the cave, and there's 3 Drashigs waiting for them. And then Joe gets stuck in the swamp, and she's like, "Oh no, help, doctor, help!" And so the doctor has to distract the Drashigs, and he pulls the same trick he did in the original Seaboy story, kinda, where he pulls up a sonic screwdriver and he sends out a sonic pulse, and it makes the marsh gas explode.
Yeah.
Kind of scare off the Drashigs. It's the same thing he did with the Seaboy in the middle of that serial, in the minefield.
I think it makes more sense in the minefield because that was a minefield.
Well, he's igniting flammable marsh gas, so...
Yeah, they point out whenever they got into the marsh in the last episode that it was probably flammable.
Yeah. You know, just setting up a little Chekhov's gun there. But then Vorg does indeed put his hand in there. And so you've got this fun thing of the location shoot of the cave. And then you've got this green screened element of the Drashigs in there. And then you've just got this hand in front going, woo! Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Get out of there.
Down comes the hand of God. And stops the Drashigs.
Better than the foot from the opening of Monty Python.
Yeah. and
So
then that's when they've they're resting in, is it in the cave they're resting?
They go back into the circuitry.
Yeah, they jump into circuitry and then they take a break from running, and the doctor starts talking about, oh, it's like what you have a zoo, all these animals, step right up, take a look at them, see them do this and that. That's what one of these is. I mean, it's so heinous. I got them banned.
Yeah, he figures out they're inside a miniscope, and he's very concerned because, as you rightly say, he got it outlawed. He helped to get it banned.
Well, how did you get that banned? Oh, I'm very. What? How did he say it?
I just bugged the Time Lords enough.
Bugged the Time
Yeah.
Lords.
There's some great dialogue here. When he's talking to Joe about the idea of zoos, like, you've ever been to the zoo, Joe? Have you ever kept goldfish in a bowl? She said, well, yeah, that's different. We're not animals. And then he says, well, so those creatures, there we are. Roll up. See the funny creatures in their native habitat.
Doctor, that's not funny. I agree, Joe. It's not funny. You know, but and it's the wild metaphor here. It's like, okay, you know, it's like, so there's people inside. They do their thing, like they're living in this colony, like an ant farm, and outside other people are watching us. And Joe is like, you mean there are people just watching us run around, risking our lives for kicks? Oh, they have to be evil and horrible. And it's like, yeah, that's the meta commentary, you know? Because every week you're tuning in and you're watching Joe Grant fucking get scared half to death by a bug-eyed monster running for her fucking life. And you're saying, you mean people just watch us risk our lives and terrified and shit? That's
I do
awful.
love me some good meta commentary when it's done well.
That's awful. It's like, and the doctor's like, well, that's a little extreme. They're not really evil. Thoughtless, maybe. Not evil. And then he has that line. It's like a human going. It's like human beings going to the zoo or keeping goldfish, but we're not animals. Oh, but we are up there, as he says.
Yeah.
But so he says officially all the miniscopes were destroyed after he campaigned, which it's funny to imagine. Like, I mean, nowadays you might imagine one of the timeless doctors petitioning against this shit, but in the time it would only have to be like William Hartnell.
I'm just thinking now of William Hartnell with that sign from Father Ted.
Down with this sort of thing.
Yeah.
Is that? Yeah.
I mean, separate the art from the artist, because the guy that wrote that is not good. But
fuck him.
But the actual comedy of that is still good.
Oh Christ!
And every time there's a protest, that image inevitably gets posted to it. It's like,
yeah.
There's a general strike. Down with this sort of thing. Careful now.
But yeah, officially all the miniscopes were destroyed. But well, one must have got away because we're inside it, and the TARDIS materialized in its compression field, and so here we are. And then Shurna points out a little fact. Vorg, if the Drashigs are following these people by their scent, they could get out of the scope. You know, they could get into the circuitry. Oh, don't be ridiculous. The Drashigs won't come out of their scope. Cue the Drashigs busting through the fucking circuitry wall to get at the Doctor and Joe.
A Drashig Kool-Aid mans itself through the wall.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we better get going, Joe. We better get going.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Bash! Oh yeah!
But yeah, the Interminans have to check with Zarv on how to destroy the scope. So Petrak is going to convene with the president, and that leaves Kalik and Orm to do their Machiavellian planning and scheming. And Orm's like, "Wait a minute, Kalik, you expected the Drashigs to escape." "Oh, yes, I did. For thousands of years, our world has stood alone and been stronger for it. But President Zarb is trying to change your ways. By the way, President Zarb is Kalik's brother, to add that sort of, scheming bullshit, kind of like Shakespearean nonsense.
Also,
to
we
it.
never see him.
Also, we never see him. Sir not appearing in this film. But President Zarb is trying to change their ways. Oh, because the functionaries need distraction. Ah, no, what the functionaries need and what we need is something to unite us. A sense of purpose, a new leader, and a war. I'll lead the rebellion against President Zarb myself! But he has bigger plans that we find out later on how to achieve this. But the Doctor and Joe have found a vertical shaft.
I could just hear your voice start to break there when you said vertical shaft.
What do you mean when I said vertical shaft?
I mean, you do have a history with video games and vertical shafts.
I do indeed have a history of video games with vertical shafts.
I think my favourite one is Mega Man 10.
You mean the one from 12 years ago or the one from the other evening?
We're going up and oh my god, we're still going up.
Oh yeah, up and up and up and up, and up. That's what I did last night. I don't know if you're referencing the old Let's Play from like 2010.
Yes, I am.
Okay, well
unless you did it again, because I haven't been able to see that VOD yet. But
I mean, I went up. I said, okay, we're going up and up and up and
okay,
up and up
you did it again. You did it again.
And then we're in space. But yeah, so they found this place, but how are we gonna get down it? He drops a coin, and it takes like seconds to hear the ding as it lands.
Oh, Doctor, we'll break our necks if we try.
So he shoves it down and says 20 feet.
What? God. But this is a really cute scene. Where Joe is like, "Oh, Doctor, what are we gonna do? We can't go forward because we can't get down this vertical shaft, but we can't go backwards because the Drashigs will eat us. So what do we do?" "Well, Joe, in times like this, we need to do lateral thinking. We need to think sideways." "Think sideways? That's it, Doctor! Sideways! The ship! We can go get rope! Oh, that's you're a genius, Doctor." Well,
There's
Joe,
a little bit more than that where the Doctor thinks she's being literal with going sideways.
yeah, that's the joke. Yeah, she's being literal, where he was being like metaphorical, but she's like, "Literally, go sideways to the ship and get rope." "Oh, Doctor, you're a genius." "Well, Joe, that's not exactly what I." "Oh, wow, I see the power of lateral thinking now, Doctor." Well, yes, Joe. Anyway, let's get going.
I will say that I think Joe and the Third Doctor are a fantastic team together.
Iconic. One of the top 5 companion pairs. Like, honestly, right up there with 7 Ace, 12 Clara for me.
Yeah,
I love
Paul Lishaw didn't really get the chance to do much with him.
He's competent and great, but there's not really much there in that one season. But she's good. And 3 and Sarah Jane is less iconic than 4 and Sarah Jane.
Absolutely.
No,
if they ever did like a multi-Doctor story, it would be the Third Doctor and Joe.
Which I love. I love them. But yeah, so they head back into the ship. They're back in the cargo hold now somehow. And just then, Major Daly and Andrews come in, and they're hiding behind some boxes. But then they see Joe's foot. So he pulls out his gun. And he's like, "Okay, come out. I can see your foot." And Joe's like, she points to the Doctor silently. He's like, "They can see me, but they can't see you. So I'm just gonna get myself up, and you do your thing." And so she comes out. And, "Hello, okay, yeah, here we go again. You don't know who I am. I'm a stowaway, blah, blah, blah. Lock me up in the cabin, see the captain, blah, blah, blah. I've been through this routine before."
I love how annoyed she is, but she's also...
She's like,
She's not
also
sacrificing
feels-
herself, but she's allowing herself to get caught so the Doctor can get away.
Yeah. And also, that could be meta commentary too, because old Doctor Who is a lot about this, the padding riders got to eat, where it's like, oh, we've escaped in this episode. Oh, but now I've been captured again for the end of this part. It's just like going around in circles. So it's kind of poking fun at that in a way, since it's a story about meta commentary and watching a Doctor Who story and them being watched and all this shit. So it's like, okay, here we go again. You don't trust me, you don't believe me, you're gonna lock me up and I gotta get away. Blah, blah, blah. Get on with it. I kind of like that. I just came up with that on the fly, but I like that. So we get more of Calic's plan, and he's got a real cutting line that shows the political undertone of the story, where he's like, "Oh, the Drashigs and that guy and that Lerman are only here because of Zarb's liberal-minded weakness. The people would turn against him because of that. But the Eradicator would eradicate the Drashigs if they got out, right? But what if we have a plan on how to deal with that?" But yes. But meanwhile, the Drashigs are still chasing the Doctor and co, and they managed to bust through the cargo hold as the Doctor's still in there doing his thing.
I was half thinking that this was the cliffhanger. Like, are you really doing this whole thing again 2 episodes in a row?
I'll be honest, I've seen this before. I thought that was the cliffhanger. But, they have a slightly better cliffhanger coming up in a couple minutes for this. But yeah, it does seem very cliffhanger-ish, doesn't it? The way it's shot with the Drashig slowly doing the thing and doing some stuff and coming through, and it's like cutting back and forth, like, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, what are we doing?
I think that the way the Drashigs are shot, particularly in the cargo hold scene that you're talking about here, I think it's really good, not cinematography, but framing.
Yeah.
It makes them out to be a big deal, like a real threat.
I mean, it's a giant fucking omnivorous worm thing. Yeah. There's threat.
Is it me, or is it a hand puppet that they just make it look big?
It's absolutely a hand puppet.
It is a hand puppet. But, yeah. And then, with the Drashig in the cargo hold, and all manner of machinations taking place outside the scope on Interminor, we get... I think we get the cliffhanger now, do we?
Well, there's some more bullshit that's gonna happen here. Like, we have a Petrak coming back, and this President Zarb has granted special powers for the Lermans and their machine to be deported from this planet.
Yeah,
So
and the TARDIS will be
that's gonna
jettisoned into deep space.
Great. And meanwhile, on the ship, all hell's breaking loose. There's a Drashig breaking up through the deck, and Major Daly has a fucking Tommy gun, and he's just like, "Come on, you motherfuckers! Ah!" Well, he doesn't say that.
No, he doesn't say it like that.
Yeah. But he's like, it's wild. And Ian Martyr proves prescient to his future role because his character acts like a complete imbecile.
Yeah, he throws dynamite at a monster.
He throws dynamite at a monster in a cramped cargo hold. And the Doctor's like, "No, don't do it." And he throws it like into the busted hole where the Drashig came through, into the circuitry of the machine.
Yeah, so he's just destroying the machine from within, and they're in it.
Yeah, and so outside, Shonda's like, the scope is losing power. There's a really great line where he's like, "This scope can't lose power. It's been generated by," I forget the exact
the old
name of it,
Eternity
like,
Perpetual Company. They're designed to last forever. That's why the company went bankrupt.
That's a good joke.
So Shona's like, "Oh no, the scope's out of power. It's finished. All the dials are dropping to zero. There's enough power in the circuit shit. It'll keep functioning for a long time. Can we repair it? I don't know. Maybe if I still had that handbook."
That'll come up later, but I love Joe's just being completely done with this loop, because it comes up and they forget her again. They forget her again after like coming back up after all that attack, and it's like, you don't even remember the monster. What the fuck is going on? What are you talking about? Are you a passenger? Are you a stowaway? It's just like, you know what? You can't even remember what happened 10 minutes ago. So how do you know I'm not a passenger? Eh?
Yeah.
I love that she just sasses them back. It's like, you know what? Sick of this shit. What do you know?
And possibly because it's breaking, because, the scope is breaking at this point, Daly does start to remember the monster. Because, Andrew's like, we're kind of stowaways walking about, so Joe runs off. He's like, well, get after her. And he's like, yeah, watch out for the monster, Andrews.
And so we get our cliffhanger. The doctor wakes up after the dynamite bullshit. He got his rope, and he heads back to the shaft, and he goes down it. And then, as Vorg and Sherna are working on the scope, Sherna lets out a yell because a panel on the bottom of the scope opens, and a tiny doctor, like a couple inches tall, walks out and collapses.
Yeah, I like this.
That's our part 3 cliffhanger.
I kind of think they could have cut this when he returns to his normal size, but they don't.
I guess.
It's just tiny third doctor out and collapses.
I mean, they show it immediately after, like,
and collapses perfectly, by the way, on the
beautiful. Oh no, is Doctor Who dead from the strain? No, he's not. He's just
of course
really
he's not.
tired. But once he's out of there, it doesn't take long into part 4 for him to just grow back to his normal size.
Yeah, mind you, while he's growing back to his normal size, everyone's talking about exiling him, even though he's right in front of them.
They're talking about killing him with the Eradicator.
Eradicate the alien, keep our planet clean.
Now, of course, the Eradicator is not being manned at the moment because Kalik did some political manoeuvring
and sent
them away. And I love this scene here. I love this scene where he's returned to size and you've got Vorg there. Vorg agrees that he should be destroyed, and Shona's like, don't be ridiculous, he's a living creature. He's done nothing wrong. Are you alright? Like I said, his conscience.
Exactly.
He doesn't listen to her, but his conscience nonetheless. So the Eradicator is not news because the guys aren't there because Kalik is blocking it. I love this scene here where the tribunal's addressing the doctor, and the doctor's not taking it.
Be silent. The tribunal's deliberating. The tribunal's not deliberating. It's arguing, and quite nonsensically, if I do say so myself.
I love it.
And so this is where he learns that he's on the planet Interminor and not Metabolus 3. And he's basically like, oh, in that case, well, you guys are in deep shit for this miniscope bullshit. Oh, well, we deported it. Yeah, well, it's here now and working, so you are responsible for it.
Yeah.
Shit.
Another bit of commentary in there, I think.
Yeah.
That maybe people could learn a lesson from in today's day and age, and I'll leave it there.
Maybe.
The buck stops here, yeah, right. So.
But then there's another wild scene where, the doctor's trying to fix scope, and we've got this, you mentioned you didn't want to call Vorg a carny, but Vorg basically thinks the doctor is a carny because of the way he
is
talks.
A carnival barker, but I don't mind calling him a carny at all. I'm just saying we don't really use that term.
Right.
Like we know of the term, we know what it means.
Right.
But it's more of an Americanism.
Either way, he starts talking carnival talk to the doctor, and the doctor's like, What the fuck are you talking about?
According to TARDIS Wiki, there is actually a translation for what Vorg is saying.
I believe that. I believe that more than most things I read on TARDIS Wiki.
So, Vorg says "Pare the Carni," which apparently translates to "Do you talk the Carnival's language?" Vada de Bonaperon, look at the good-looking young girl.
Yeah.
Niente denaro here vigiles, no money to be made here,
Yeah, good. Carnival folk do have their own sort of mini language. and way of talking, so it could be.
And Vorg really gets on the Doctor's nerves a bit because it's like, oh no, the Drashigs have broken everything in the scope. Oh, the life support's failing. Soon the entire collection will be gone. Oh no, what a tragedy that'll be. Yeah, my insurance won't cover the replacement of the livestock. Livestock? These are human beings. The collection of the collection of civilized beings. That's a crime.
Probably because she was nice to him and tried to get him not executed, but he seems to have no problem with Shurna.
Yeah.
He's charming to Shurna. He has no time for Vorg.
So meanwhile, Calic and Orm, they've sabotaged the Eradicator and removed part of it so it won't work. Because their plan is going to be let the Drashigs break out and cause havoc and fucking make President Zarb look bad for allowing this calamity to befall them, and then he'll lose face, and they can get him out of office and take over the evil schemes, and then we won't have any of this non-conservative bullshit going on our planet. And so their plans, well, what are we going to do with the part of the Eradicator? Oh, we'll steal it, we'll put it in the Lerman's baggage, and then we'll blame it on him. Haha. 2 birds with 1 stone.
Yeah, they're going to set up Vorg to be a saboteur and a spy, basically.
Mm.
Let the foreigner take the rap. Again, social political commentary.
Anyway, Joe gets caught again.
Oh my god.
And she's like, yeah, I know. The captain will come see me. Until then, I'm gonna stay in the cabin. Yeah. And he locks the door. She waits to hear him go away. She pulls out the skeleton keys and gets out. It's like she doesn't even give 2 shits. It's like, okay.
I love her acting in this scene.
Yeah.
Just how done she is with it all.
This is actually I'm amazed. I did not really peg this until we started sitting down. That's one of those things that happens when you start sitting down and talking about the thing. But this is really just meta commentary on the whole tediousness of capture escape plotting in classic Doctor Who.
You get the impression that Joe Grant would not be a fan of the game, definitely.
You get the impression she wouldn't be a fan of God, imagine Joe and Snake Dance. Remember Snake Dance?
Oh my god, yeah.
Was locked up for an entire fucking episode so the plot wouldn't go too fast. and everything could go to shit around them, that's some writers gotta eat bullshit. Oh, can't let them have the sandy screwdriver. You get unlocked too fucking fast. But either way. And this is just like proving that's bullshit, because like they've got skeleton keys, so it's just like that's the point of it. It's tedious bullshit, and even they know it. But yeah, the Doctor's plan now is to go back inside the scope to get Joe, and he needs Vork's help. Well, don't you know how this machine works? I kind of won it in a gambling game.
The Great Wallarian Exhibition, where he also met that wrestler.
So the Doctor's like, well, did you get like a green or blue disc with it? Yeah, I think I got one of those. Well, you should go get it. Oh, I'll go look in my bag for it.
Yeah, and Shurna is basically receptive to his idea because he wants to get back inside the machine to rescue Joe, get her out, then all the other life forms can be returned to their original time and space coordinates.
And so, yeah, go ahead.
And Shurna's all for this.
Yeah.
She realises, this has gone way too far. She only joined up with Vork to get out of the dance company she was with. She's not particularly malicious at all. Vork is just a coward and greedy, but he's not. Again, I wouldn't call him evil either. He's foolish.
Almost a. I don't know if the archetype quite fits him. Lovable rogue.
Yeah, I think he's a lovable rogue, but not quite the same archetype.
Not quite. It doesn't quite match, but it's in the wheelhouse, shall we say. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, so the Doctor, meanwhile, he's got some machinery lashed up for this thing. It's like to get him, to teleport him back into the scope, and then for Vork to pull him out at the last possible moment. with him and Joe in tow. And then the gray people come back and like, wait, what are you doing? I'm going into the scope. Oh, you can't go into the scope, Doctor. You got to go get to this committee. What's this committee? And Vorg's like, oh, you won't like it, Doctor. It's basically prison. Prison? How about I go in the scope instead? Whoop!
Yeah, and Pledtrak's got a weapon because Vorg's like, oh, you can have the scope and we'll just go back home. And he to get back the same weapon that was used on the functionary in part 1. He fires it. He hits the scope, and this time it actually, does some damage to it. You hear a loud bang, and they're like, "We'll never get him back now." So Vorg is trying to work on it to try and get him back. There's signs of life in the scope, like in terms of the circuitry.
Yeah.
So there might be hope yet, but the Doctor goes and gets Joe from inside the scope. And then, of course, here come the political schemers to ruin everything.
Oh, it's wild because Vorg and Shurna are going through their bag first, and it's like they're trying to find some shit to repair. There's a great gag later on where it's like, no, I don't know where all these wires go. Oh, Shurna, put your finger there. Where? Here? Ow! Oh, that's the live terminal. Good. Thanks for finding it for me.
See, it's interesting how they set up Shurna as his assistant, like, Joe is the Doctor's assistant.
Almost like a Doctor Who mirror alert. Doctor Who mirror alert. Doctor Who mirror alert.
So it's very, very dire. It's very, very dire. The scope is almost down to critical mass, and I'm not talking about the Duke Nukem video game with the greatest E3 presentation of all time.
Oh God!
It's just a 4-minute music video.
Oh my lord! The greatest E3 presentation since Otto Medius Excellent.
It was. I love the fact that they clearly had a trailer planned, and the thing that they played as the actual trailer was just a backing video for the live musical performance, and then that fell through, so they just put the music performance video as the trailer.
Oh God. So, yeah, things are going bad. So, like you said, we got the gray people are doing their Machiavellian bullshit to ruin everything in the climax of the story.
Yeah, the functionaries are getting above themselves, it doesn't matter anymore because we're taking over.
Well, they're like, we live in troubled times. The functionaries are getting above themselves. Oh, heaven forfend.
And then, of course, beautiful, twisted karma.
Here come the Drashigs.
Here come the Drashigs, and they eat Aurum and Keelik.
Womp.
The only two people in the story they devour are the two that use them to, further their own power. Mwah. How deliciously ironic, don't you think?
How delicious for the Drashigs.
Yeah.
And, the Eradicator's not working either because they fucking sabotaged it. But Vorg recognized the part because he was like, oh, this part for it's like a part for a laser gun, I had this back in my national service when I was the infantry in space. Because I guess he was in, the space army or some shit. But anyway, Vorg steps up and is like, oh shit, I know how to work this thing. And he plugs it back into the Eradicator and he just lasers the two Drashigs that are out.
Yeah, Vorg saves the day.
Vorg saved the day.
Which is an interesting choice given that he ruined it in the first place.
I guess he learned something.
Making amends, yeah.
Yeah.
And while they're exploding, all hell is breaking loose inside the scope.
You say all hell, it's more like they're slowly fucking suffocating, which is a lot worse than all hell breaking loose. It's
and then the
terrifying fucking death.
The Drashigs in the swamp are disappearing. There goes the SS Bernice. The Doctor and Joe disappear.
Well, you're jumping ahead a little. I meant the part where Major Daly, Andrews, and Claire are suffocating to death.
Oh God, yes, they're gasping for oxygen. I think they
And then
survive,
after,
don't they?
well, yeah, because after Vorg kills the Drashigs, he's looking at the machine. He's like, "Oh, damn. Well, that's too bad the doctor and everyone in the scope died. Oh, well, you could try to pull the lever. I suppose it wouldn't hurt. Hey, wait a minute. There's power here. Oh, it'll work." And he pulls it, and so everything gets teleported back to where it should be. The Drashigs, I guess everything else, and the SS Bernice, and the Doctor and Joe end up right outside the scope.
Yeah.
So that's great. And then the scope explodes.
Yes, it does.
And we see a nice little scene with Major Daly and his daughter in 1926 where he's getting ready for bed, and, it's kind of poetic and nice. They're just living their lives. They're back to normal, as they should be. And he gets to cross out the calendar. He gets to cross out June the 4th before he goes to bed. It's nice.
So they were never on the ship.
What?
Is that the idea here when he crosses off the calendar?
Yeah, the day is finally moved on because they're not stuck in the loop anymore.
Right. So were they ever on the ship to begin with, or?
Yeah, they were on the ship to begin with. I guess the implication is that this is a lost ship mystery like the Mary Celeste, and the solution is aliens did it, but specifically something sucked it up into the scope.
Yeah.
And teleported it in. We don't know how the scope teleports things in, but I get that's the implication. I guess it just like pulled it in somehow.
Oh yeah, they are on the ship because he talks about seeing Bombay tomorrow. You're right.
Yeah. So they're back to where they should be in 1926.
Yeah. So they've been saved.
Yeah.
The ship and everyone has been saved.
Now is that why they're no longer on a missing ship? Is that probably why we don't have any knowledge that they were ever missing?
There you go.
It could be. Like I said, there was a ship called Bernice that was sunk in 1940.
Yeah, but this was 1926.
But this may not be that same Bernice. I think it's an invention for the show, but it's fine.
And we get a fitting end for Vorg, and as the Doctor and Joe is like, "Oh, we'll want to thank the Lermans for the bravery. Oh, well, it's too bad that we aren't able to pay our way off of this planet, Vorg. Oh, I know. Hey, you want to play the shell game?
Oh, God.
You want to bet a credit bar on the shell game?
If you know anything about Free Card Monty or the shell game or the cups and balls, know one thing: never bet money on the shell game.
Yeah. But this is Vorg's way of making back his money, and the Doctor and Joe are like, "Yeah, they'll be fine. Let's get out of here."
There's a great line where it says, "I never need to worry too much about Vorg. Yeah, they'll probably make him president one day."
And so they head off, and that is Carnival of Monsters.
That was fun.
Well, who wants to go first with general thoughts and stuff?
No, I mean, I'll be quick.
Yeah, sure.
It was a good episode. I mean, nothing like too groundbreaking. I wonder why, like, the writing from the last few years couldn't be to this quality. Was something, from 40 plus years ago. Like, I don't know. It was just a fun episode.
Well, the answer is that most of the writers from this day and age are not, in the Chibnall years, mind. Most of them are not as good as Robert Holmes was in his prime.
No, Robert Holmes was one of the great writers.
He's like, top 3, I would say. He's like,
absolutely.
I mean, he's had his issues. I mean, he did write, but still, there are definite, like, a lot of his episodes are considered classics, and this I like this episode. I like this serial. It's got some interesting meta commentary with the whole people watching us risk our lives. Oh my God, that's horrible. And the meta commentary I found of oh, here we go again. I'm gonna get locked up because you people think I'm a trespasser and I've got to get out again. So it's got some fun little riffs on that sort of thing. It's got some light political elements to it, which do drive the plot as it is forward, because it's a pretty small stakes plot. Like, all that's really at stake is, like, the lives of everyone on that ship. When you really think about it, it's more an ethical problem of, oh my God, that's terrible. We need to get them out of the ship. And for a few minutes, Interminer is under threat by the Drashigs as the climax, but That's dealt with really quick. It's a very macrocosmic story, a very small stake story. It's not the fate of the entire universe is at stake, which I like. I appreciate that smaller scale. It's just a solid 1970s four-parter, you know? It's not it's not groundbreaking. It's not like the best episode ever, but it was an enjoyable episode, and I felt that's what we needed to come back off of Resurrection of the Daleks. And it sounds like I succeeded with at least Kuchiri, and I succeeded with myself. But Rainiac, did I succeed with you?
Yes, you did.
Good.
Yes, because I also enjoyed this. I don't think this will ever be on anyone's greatest stories list. I also don't think it'll be on the worst stories list for anybody. It's in the middle.
I think the poll, for better or worse, puts it somewhere in the 60th percentile.
That's about what I would expect.
That feels.
But it's just a fun little story, and I like you. I like the fact that it's not like universe-ending stakes. It's just a little, a little bubble, if you will, a little potted universe of its own, and it's fun. Vorg and Sherna are fun characters. I love the fact that it's partly set on the cruise ship and partly set on Interminor, and what's going on. There's an element of mystery to what's going on the cruise ship that's solved with the first two episodes. It doesn't overstay its welcome. There's nothing particularly problematic about it, except maybe the Ogron, but that's just like a cameo to show the creatures in the scope. Yeah, it's perfectly decent, perfectly enjoyable Doctor Who for the 70s.
So next time then is Cat's pick, and I'm going to pull back the curtain a bit. We don't know what it is yet. Maybe she said it there. If she didn't say it there, she'll say it here, and it'll be on the screen here because Mr. Editor will put it there. But
I can't believe she picked this episode.
Me neither. Did not see that coming.
I mean, I have an idea of what she said she was going to pick for her next choice, but I don't know if she's going to give us a swerve, so I can't really react.
I mean, that was 3 or 4 weeks ago, so she may have forgotten that by now.
Okay, well, if she picked that, then I'm happy. If she picked an arc, if she picked an arc or some trolley bullshit, here's a stock reaction. Oh, God damn shit! I gotta watch this shit. There. So apply that reaction in that case, if Apple.
So what I'm going to do is just do 2 reactions and then just delete as applicable. So I'm not happy about Cat's pick. I'm really not happy about Cat's pick. There, that's sorted, isn't it?
Oh, be nice.
It's a joke.
Be.
If it is what I think it is, I am happy with her pick.
If it's what I was expecting before, it'll be interesting.
I'm not mentioning it out loud because it might not be what she's chosen, but she did say a few weeks ago what she was going to take next, and yeah.
Yeah. Well, if it's that, we'll deal with it. If it's not, we'll also deal with it, and I'll probably have strong opinions to say next time. But Maniac, where can you find us lovely people?
You can find us lovely people on Twitter @ReviewsDoctor. Individually, we're @RainiacTheManiac, @The Kuchiri, @Freezing Inferno, and Cat is @ConcaveUsurper. We can always be found on Twitch, although I haven't started streaming yet, but I'm still getting to that. But Cat is twitch.tv/ConcaveUsurper. Kuchiri is The Kuchiri. And Freezing Inferno, champion of Totsugeki 64, is found at twitch.tv/Freezing Inferno. I had to find you those files.
That's right. I'm going to need that tomorrow as of recording. Cause,
I'll try and get you that if I can.
Tonight I'm finishing Mega Man 11, because by the time you hear this, I'll finish my Mega Man marathon where I played all the Mega Man games from 1 to 11, and then I'm finishing with Totsugeki 64 because
if we can get it to work,
because I put an image of May from Guilty Gear on my stream because Mega May, and then they released this ROM hack of Mario 64 where you play as May from Guilty Gear, and like 3 people said, "Frez, play this for Mega Man," and I'm like, "Fuck it, fine, that'll be the capstone for Mega Man." But
I'm fairly confident you can get it to work on an emulator, but the difficulty will be how to patch it.
I think I can figure out how to patch a Nintendo 64 cartridge But
I mean, lunar IPS still works, right?
I don't know if that works for 64
that's,
games, but that's
well,
going
that's what
into
I'm,
into murky territory. So
Yar har fiddle dee. But anyway, I also want to mention some quick things. First of all, of course, By the Tower Through the Trees by Sean Dillon, and Back to the 11th Hour, Volumes 1 and 2 by Krista McTeer on Amazon.com. But also, last week, didn't mention it the last time we recorded, I forgot, but I finished a blog project over on my blog, Fresno's Raving Rants.blogspot.com, called Night of the Loving Dead, where I analyzed and summarized the anime Zombieland Saga. And I have just finished here in late May a write-up about the second season, and leading into my next project, which is unnamed, but is going to be a capsule review series of the 1990s sci-fi show Quantum Leap, starring Scott Bakula. So
wow, you
exciting
never
things are
you never
happening.
take a rest, do you?
Mm,
You've
Yeah, I
just
mean,
finished Zombieland Saga. It's straight into Quantum Leap.
I've been wanting to watch Quantum Leap for like 6 fucking months, and I was like, that's my reward for finishing the zombie stuff, so I got to get into it. I mean, you know how my fucking fall goes. Like October, I do the Halloween blog. November, I do NaNoWriMo. So by December, my fingers are fucking bleeding. And I usually take December off, and then January is all back to the shit. So I got to get a lot of Quantum Leap bullshit done over the summer before the fall comes. So yeah. Oh, okay. So boop boop boop. Yes, unless there's other stuff to plug, we can
I can't think of anything.
so I guess we can just say goodnight, Brainiac.
Good night. So thank you to you for listening to us talk about. I never forgot the name of the episode then. Carnival of Monsters. There was a reason for that, because we were talking about Cat's Pick for next time, which is not Carnival of Monsters. Sight, we're doing the same thing again. No.
Oh, here we go again. Now we're caught in the loop.
That would have been a good bit, but no. This is not Groundhog Day. Phil? Ned? Bang!
No, that's Heaven Sent.
I love the fact that you brought that up and I didn't. And join us next time for Cat's Pick, Colin Baker, starring in Doctor Who and the Pirates. Yeah, half fiddly dee is right.
You realize this is going to create weird editing bullshit now, where it's like, before we were like, oh, we don't know what Cat's Pick is, but if it's good, we'll see. And now we're like, oh yeah, it's Doctor Who and the Pirates.
Yes, because it's not like Discord messaging is a thing.
It's not like Discord messaging is a thing. Well, you're going to have to reflect that in the edit now.
Oh.
So good luck. Anyway. So tune in next time for Doctor Who and the Pirates. And also tune in next time when hopefully Brainiac finally gets into streaming with his mirror-based VTuber design.
Excuse me, what?
Until then, bye for now!
Wait, what was that last bit? Okay, so this is not going in, but
No, this is going in now. This is going in now.